The fisherman who killed a teacher faces new efforts to have him jailed. The Sydney Casino pleads for tax concessions to attract high rollers. And thousands honour our League World Cup champions with a victory parade. Good evening. A Sydney court has been told that a man who stabbed a schoolteacher to death on a beach should be jailed for 3 years. Prosecutors have begun their appeal against the sentencing of Graham McDonald, who, although he pleaded guilty to manslaughter, was given only a good behaviour bond.
Graham McDonald was back in court today, exactly 2 weeks after he walked free, placed on a 5-year bond for stabbing to death Craig Jeffcott. It was a sentence which outraged the victim's family.
If that's justice, then it stinks.
Today, the Director of Public Prosecutions appealed against the punishment, arguing it was too lenient. 2 years ago, the school teacher was fatally stabbed when he intervened in a row between McDonald and a student who'd stole his fishing knife. McDonald maintained it was an accident. The Crown insisted it was much more. He took the knife to arm himself. To use the knife as a weapon, this was a serious case of manslaughter.
Mr Howie told the appeals judges he believed the appropriate sentence should have been a minimum 2 to 3 years jail. This brought a quick response from Mr Justice Kirby, who said McDonald had already served 17 months imprisonment and that this appeal could be considered a waste of time.
Tom Hughes, representing McDonald, said the court should consider the psychiatric evidence. An expert concluded that he was not a danger to the community. The Court of Criminal Appeal reserved its decision.
Have you got a message to the 3 judges?
I'd just like justice done.
McDonald is expected to learn his fate before the year's out. Damien Ryan, National 9 News.
A 67-year-old man is in a critical condition in hospital after being bashed this morning at his Northmead service station. Police say neighbours found Eric Hodges unconscious on the driveway.
It would appear that after he's taken the dog around to the back of the service station, he's come back to the service station and someone has hit him on the head with an object.
He suffered serious injuries. His attacker has not been found. Premier Carr says he may be prepared to take a gamble by giving tax concessions to the Sydney Casino. Just 2.5 months after it opened, it's appealed for help, claiming most of the high rollers are going to Melbourne.
The chips are down at Sydney's casino, and so is revenue. Takings from poker machines and food and drink sales are well below budget. Not that management is crying poor.
No, not at all. Our revenues are very good.
But while gaming tables are making up the shortfall, the casino says it's losing big business to Victoria. Melbourne's Crown Casino pays only 10% tax on revenue from its high rollers, allowing it to offer generous incentives such as free airfares and accommodation.
There are certainly some of our players who would otherwise be coming here who are going to Victoria because they are being attracted by incentives.
Sydney Casino wants State Treasury to reduce its 47% tax rate, a plea supported by the Gaming Minister. But Premier Carr isn't so sure and says he wants proof the loss of high rollers to Victoria also means a loss in government revenue.
There's only one test we apply in this, that is whether the state government, and by that I mean the taxpayer, is better or worse off.
There's little sympathy, though, from the opposition.
The casino industry is a licence to print money. Of all the businesses that shouldn't get a tax break, I think the casino industry would have to be pretty close to the top of the list.
A decision is expected before Christmas. Brad Schmidt, National 9 News.
The federal government's Balancing Act on Forest